Hello, today we have some great tips for you for the month of May. We've had somewhat of a cooler spring than we've had in the past few years, but the temperatures are starting to warm up, things are starting to bloom, the leaves are starting to come out, and there's plenty of activities for the garden. We'll start with trees and shrubs. If you have spring blooming trees and shrubs, if you need to prune them, that would be done after they're finished blooming this spring, and you could also fertilize them at this time. If you're transplanting or putting new trees and shrubs into the ground, you want to make sure you keep them well watered. We want to keep the root ball moist, but be careful not to overwater them. We can also be looking for insect pests that start popping up in the gardens through May, especially as we get into the latter part of May, as the temperatures start getting hotter. Spider mites can be a problem. Lace bugs are common on many landscape plants, and just keep a lookout for them, and if they start to get a little bit out of control, then be prepared to do something to control them. Now, pine needle diseases have been an issue throughout parts of the state, and if you've had issues with pine needle diseases, May is a good time to apply a fungicide to help protect them from those problems. Now in the flower beds, of course, May is a great time to start putting in our annual bedding plants. Many of the plants we do use around here are warm season plants, and so not only do they like the warm air temperatures, but they also like the warm soil temperatures. So if we're planting the warm season crops such as Catharanthus, which is the annual vinca or periwinkle, many of our vegetable crops, especially the fruit producing types, are warm season crops. And so the soil temperatures really need to be in the mid 60s when we put these in the ground. Otherwise they won't be very happy. So hopefully the temperatures have warmed up. A couple of weeks ago I looked on Mesonet and was looking at some of the soil temperatures, and we were still in the low to mid 50s. And so hopefully it's warmed up enough now to help a lot of these warm season plants grow. Now, May is also a good time to take care of your water garden. If you have one in your landscape, now would be a good time to clean it up. If you have water garden plants that are getting a little bit overgrown, now is a good time to divide those up and repot them and plant them back in the garden. And then as the water temperatures also get warmer, usually we want to wait until it's above 50 degrees, we can start feeding our fish. For our turf areas, now's the time to put down an application of fertilizer. We can fertilize our warm season grasses, and if you happen to have some cool season grasses, May would be the last application that we would put down this spring. If you put one down in March and April, then you may not need one in May, but if you didn't do that, May would be your last chance. We don't want to fertilize our cool season grasses after May. The next application won't occur until fall. Now, in both cases, we're going to put down about 1 pound of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. If you're going to establish a warm season grass from seed, such as Bermuda grass and buffalo grass, mid-May through June is the best time to do that. Soil temperatures are warm enough for good germination and allows the plants to become mature enough to be winter hardy before the winter months come in. Now, May is also the time when some of our weeds show up, especially nutsedge, and that can be a real problem in our landscapes, especially in our turf areas. And that's the time when we want to apply an herbicide, a post-emergence herbicide, while the plants are still really young and really small. If we wait until they get larger and more mature, then the sprays aren't going to be very effective. And then finally, if you put down a pre-emergence herbicide to control weeds back in February, March, now might be the time to put down a second application. Most of the products on the market only last 2 to 3 months. And so if you put one down earlier, it might be time to put down another application to help carry that coverage well into the summer months. But be sure you read the product label and follow label directions.